I just won this entire laptop on the Whatnot app for $8. You heard me right, $8. It's a 2018 Lenovo 100e Chromebook with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage. Most people would say this thing is too weak for real coding, but I'm here today to prove them wrong. I'm installing Visual Studio Code and building a full web project. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and live preview, the works. All on this $8 machine. Let's go. Let's get into some quick specs on this Lenovo 100e. It's an 11.6-inch screen, MediaTek processor, super rugged education build. It came completely fresh after a Chrome OS power wash. The catch? That tiny drive means we're going to be tight on space. But watch this. Let's get into setting up this Chromebook to run Visual Studio Code. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click in the bottom right corner and we're going to go to Settings. Then we're going to scroll down to About Chrome OS. Then we're going to scroll down on that until we get down to the Linux development setup. We're going to click on that. Then we're going to click Next. And you can name this whatever you want. And I recommend keeping it the 10 gigabyte storage because anything bigger, you're going to run out of storage anyways. And then we're going to run the Linux setup. And then when that finishes, we get brought to a terminal for Linux. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run a command inside the Linux terminal. And that's going to be sudo apt update. And all this is going to do is just going to update the Linux system to the most recent version of everything it needs to support it. Next, we're going to go ahead and navigate to Chrome, and we're going to go to Visual Studio Code's website. And we're going to click on Download. And then we're going to click on the .deb download. Now that's going to start downloading here. And then when that finishes, we're going to go ahead and find that file, and we're going to go ahead and double click on it and run it. Then you're going to get a prompt that comes up that says install app with Linux, which we absolutely want to do. Just wait for that to populate. It can take a minute because these computers aren't super fast. And then you're going to click install. And that's going to start the installation process. You can click OK on that prompt to get rid of it. Now, the confusing part with these Chrome OS boxes is that install prompt is going to hide. So it's going to look like it's fully installed, but it's not installed at this point yet. So you can go into the bottom right corner there and you can click on the update section and look at all the notifications that are updated. And you'll see that in progress installation. And you can see here that it has not installed yet completely. It'll be within the Linux group, Linux apps group there, but it has not finished installing yet. And we can see that installation process is like 3/4 of the way done. It should be done here in a second. And I'm going to fast forward the video here because this did take a little bit of time. It is running off of 4 gigs of RAM and not a super fast processor, so it does take a minute for that to install. All right, now Visual Studio Code is installed. You can see it up top in our recent apps, as well as in that Linux apps group right below it. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, and there you go. We've got Visual Studio Code completely installed. So I thought my Chromebook was screen recording earlier, so that's why this video is picking up halfway through the project. But anyways, I just want to show you guys that this Chromebook itself can create web pages and HTML files and CSS files, JavaScript, hold images, and still function as a regular laptop. It may not necessarily have the space it really needs to do full-fledged, like large projects, but for a learner's laptop, this will most certainly do. You can see me going back and forth there between the live preview and the HTML code. I'm just getting everything in order there with images and all that, and getting everything styled. So this laptop can do everything you need it to do in order to learn HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. It may not be able to handle some of the more heavy loads, and I'll get into that in a different video on some workarounds and what you can do there. In the meantime, an $8 laptop, you can't beat it for starting to learn this stuff, especially if you don't have a laptop right now or a computer that you can use for coding. This absolutely is a game changer for those with a very, very low budget. And that just about wraps it up. If you want to score a sweet deal on a laptop through the Whatnot app, go ahead and click the referral link in the description, and you'll earn anywhere between $10 and $200 in referral credit after your first purchase. Also, if you want to learn more about web development and how you can become a web developer, go ahead and click the second link in the description, and that'll take you over to my school community page where it's absolutely free to join, and you'll be able to interact with like-minded developers as well as myself and other professional developers that can help you through that journey. I hope you found this video at least somewhat useful. If you could, drop a comment and let me know what you think.